Now, will the American government respond to public pressure? Probably not, especially because this is foreign policy. But every day that goes by when Israel's up to its ridiculous and bloody warfare and genocide and maintenance of the apartheid, every day that passes, there are less people that are inclined to defend it. I mean, the modern Democratic Party is cheeks in general, and we'll talk about that quite a bit today. Andrew Garfield talked about Gaza.
Oh
my
man,
king.
I don't know. I'm pretty, you know what, like out of everyone in the world, I'm so happy. Like we should be putting our energy towards something that actually matters.
What could be more important than that right now?
Yeah, maybe the lives of, I don't know, Palestinians in Gaza right now. Maybe that's where we put our hearts and our energy.
Bro, you got, listen. Think about the cheers, man. I've been pro-Palestinian emancipation for a decade. There are very few crowds, unless you are literally in Dearborn, Michigan 10 years ago, when you say this and you get this many cheers. A decade ago, you say this, people will be like, what are you? What is is that Pakistan? Did you just say Pakistan wrong? Like, what do you mean Palestine? Palestinian? What the fuck is that? This is also at 92NY, which is especially shocking. It's not shocking. It's not shocking when you recognize how many people actually have this position, you know? That's it. That's it, dude. It's Jover. It's Jover. But don't listen to mainstream media on this issue. There are a million polls that demonstrate the reality on the ground. People recognize it. They see right from wrong. They know what the fuck is going on. But every single mother in front of a goddamn camera on television, every single goddamn editor is presenting a completely false narrative. They are trying to continue the decades-long propaganda initiative to condition you into believing a false narrative. It is not true. And that's why, in spite of the mainstream narratives on this matter, there's still plenty of polling that is readily available to show you that, like, nah, it's not that complex. It's just kind of fucked up, actually. It doesn't seem very complex to me at all. Kamala realizing too late to break from Biden. Harris weighs more breaks with Biden as he keeps injecting himself into the campaign. Oh, man. Beyond the important A-list actor publicly declaring solidarity with Gaza, it's significant that Garfield said this at 92NY, a prominent New York City cultural institution that has raised money for the IDF, hosted Kissinger, and fired pro-Palestinian employees.
Out of franchise, but I want to help you.
You guys know, fun fact, I once balled with Andrew Garfield. It's not a big deal. You know, I'm going to have a LeBron moment and be like, yeah, I could have told, I knew he had it in him. You know, when I balled with him, I was like, one day, Andrew, you're going to do the right thing. Yeah, I balled with him in the WeHo courts one time many, many years ago. I think Will was there too. So you can ask him if you don't believe me. For the record, I'm joking when I say I'm pulling a LeBron thing. I'm not saying that I'm taking credit for this. I'm just joking.
You, buddy. What do you want?
What
can this
Josh?
500 people collectively clap our hands and make happen for you?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm pretty, you know what, like out of everyone in the world, I'm so happy. Like we should be putting our energy towards something that actually matters.
What could be more important than that right now?
Yeah, maybe the lives of, I don't know, Palestinians in Gaza right now. Maybe that's where we put our hearts and our energy, and anyone suffering, anyone oppressed, anyone that is suffering under the weight of the horrors of our world right now, anyone who doesn't have a choice in living lives of dignity. That's where our energy should be going right now.
Is there
my goat? That's beautiful. Dude, it's over. It's over. It's done. No, sorry. It's done. Donald Trump is going to win the election now. I was not convinced until this very moment. I know I kept saying, like, no, I think Kamala still most likely is going to win. Jim Cramer has never gotten something correct. Inverse Cramer is undefeated, especially when he tries to like talk about political shit. It's done. It's so done. He is so consistently wrong. It's over. He said, I don't see how Trump wins. By the way, I had a breakthrough with my Zionist mom. I was talking to her about 10-7 and recounting the past year. She realized that the rising anti-Semitism and the fact that Netanyahu saying they were doing it for the Jews made her say that Israel is a right-wing project does not make Jews safe. Still thinks Israel should exist, which her mind will not change on, but is super upset about bad reactions to the atrocities that Israel's committing. I think that's a pivotal change of attitude with your mom. That's wild, especially because like the dam is breaking, you know, the dam must be breaking a little bit when you start recognizing that maybe it's not just like pure vitriolic hatred towards Jewish existence that causes people to automatically go, yeah, what Israel's doing is wrong. Because like if you put up that defensive posture across the board, if you put up that defensive posture from the start, as many people did, liberal Zionists to ultra Zionists alike, you played a big role in justifying the atrocities that way. Once you start recognizing that maybe Israel's actions being tied to Judaism is not good for American Jews, you start, like, the dam starts breaking, you know? It becomes much easier to poke holes in this cognitive dissonance. The moment that Israel set its sights on Lebanon, I had some friends with Lebanese parents who were very reactionary, you know? Dare I say, phalangist adjacent. And they were like, immediately like, you don't understand. Israel's fighting Hezbollah. This is a good thing. Yada, yada, yada. I was like, nope, give it time. This is the exact same line of reasoning that Israel used with Hamas. We are liberating the Palestinian population from the treacherous nature of Hamas, liberating them with bombs. Okay? I said, give it time. Just wait. Check in with your dad in a couple weeks. He did. He got back to me. His dad is now talking about rising up in arms against the state of Israel. That's it. And no, it's not Austin. No. Austin's grandfather was always pro-Palestine. You can't consistently kill people to quote unquote liberate them unless you're liberating them from the mother, you know, unless you're liberating them from their bodies, I guess. Israel will always give enough reason for many people that are in the crosshairs of their family members to despise it. You don't have to like Hezbollah at all. Many people don't, but it doesn't matter. All of a sudden, they become the primary source of emancipation. They become the primary unit of emancipation. Just like give Israel enough time and don't stop them from doing anything, doing whatever the they want to, and people will resent them. People will despise them. It is understandable. It is an understandable position. Nobody wants to have their family homes blown up. That's it. It's super simple. You cannot maintain an allegiance to a violent country that is blowing you up. I think the switch flipped for my mom with Lebanon, actually, because she saw that Lebanon didn't deserve what was going on, and seeing the positive reaction to the pager attack from some of her Facebook friends made her question what was going on. That's crazy. You can't have entire generations be educated on the dangerous nature of fascism through Holocaust scholars and genocide historians, and then be educated on the bad nature, negative nature of chattel slavery and Nazi Germany, only to have people then literally do it in front of your fucking eyes. Not the chattel slavery part, but certainly the Nazi Germany part. You just can't. It doesn't make sense. People are going to be like, well, I've learned that this kind of stuff is bad, I think. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can't look at the horrors of Jim Crow, recognize that that's wrong and bad, talk about how we actually overcame this as a country, you know, white people and black people alike. You know, there's a little bit of whitewashing there, but it doesn't matter. People still get the basics, right? Like, the basics are pretty simple. Jim Crow, bad. Okay? Segregation, bad. Apartheid, bad. Genocide, bad. Nazism, bad. When you learn that, even if you're a racist piece of shit, ultimately you still know, like, it's not great. Yeah, see, I literally learned about how great Mandela was and how bad apartheid was in 5th grade. You can't get that out of me. That's what I mean. So that's why these words mean something, you know? These words mean something. When you learn that in school and then someone's like, wait, I'm making a convincing case that Israel is doing exactly that, you're going to turn around and be like, God damn, that seems kind of up. Feel me? A former Trump middle advisor resigned from a Republican congressional campaign after saying Irish peacekeepers in Lebanon should be napalmed. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. U.S. political advisor resigns after calling for Israel to drop napalm over Irish peacekeepers. You're a villain, dude. The moment that those words come out of your mouth, the moment that you type that and hit enter, you're a villain. You're not a good guy. Like, again, yes, we are all stupid, myself included. But like in all of that endless stupidity, there's still people that recognize right from wrong. Okay? You can't massage this. You can't make this normal. You can't make this good. It requires a tremendous amount of effort, a tremendous amount of lift for people to legitimately start thinking that this is good. This is a acceptable, permissible opinion. Okay? This goes outside of the boundary of permissible racism. This goes outside of the boundary of permissible and acceptable bigotry. Remember, that threshold changes and quite dramatically so. That threshold keeps increasing as time goes on and as mainstream media keeps manufacturing consent and our politicians say, nah, this is good actually. Israel has a right to defend itself, yada, yada, yada. But people still have the capacity to see what the is going on. And every single day that goes by where you have people like this that forget that they are not saying this in Hebrew in Tel Aviv to a predominantly Israeli audience and just speak out of turn like this, the more people go, yeah, this is gross, man. Israel should carpet bomb the Irish area and then drop napalm over it. Anyway, there was a study about the correlation of anti-Semitism, anti-Zionism being pro-Palestinian with the political orientation and split up with or without college degree in Germany. Who would have thought there was no correlation of being anti-Zionist / pro-Palestinian and anti-Semitism? Tweet in German, auto-translate as picture. Young academic anti-Semitic? A new study from the University of Mannheim contradicts this narrative. It shows that traditional anti-Semitism is at least prevalent among young left-leaning academics. A pro-Palestinian attitude is particularly pronounced. Eine neue Studie is least prevalent among young left-leaning academics. Not at least, sorry. I read it wrong. Let me tell you, I'm so shocked to find out that the least anti-Semitic Germans happen to be the pro-Palestinian ones. That's shocking. Wow. Pro-Palestinian academics. Very, very shocking new revelatory information. What will we do with this?